Hi guys, John Piccarello here. It's always a pleasure spending a few minutes with you. And today I want to talk about why you should be an avid reader. And I'm an avid reader and I've been that way for many, many years. And there are a lot of benefits of being an avid reader. In fact, it was Jim Rohn who said that reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. Now that's a really impactful statement, that a lot of people don't read and don't understand. I'm not talking about illiteracy, that's a real issue. I'm talking about that you can read well, but you don't read books. And personal development requires reading, requires listening. Well, understanding that numerous studies have shown that readers are more likely to make 5 times more than those who read little to none. 5 times the salary just for being an avid reader. And that's in numerous studies, not just one study. In fact, did you know that the average American will attempt to read only 1 book a year? And if that's not bad enough, about 60% of those who attempt to read a book a year in America never get past the first chapter. And that says a lot about too much videos. Videos are a great help, but if you don't read, there's a lot of things that you miss. It's an exercise of the mind to read. The comprehension powers come into play when you're reading, where it's more of a passive thing when you're listening or watching something. But a lot of the brain is active in reading. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that keeps you sharp and keeps you in the know. In fact, there was a 19th century leader who said, now this is his opinion, but he said that those who choose not to read books to understand what's in the other's mind shows there's nothing in their own. And that's a strong statement. But there is a truth in that you can be self-educated. I'm not against education, but on top of that, you add to your education and your experiences by reading the experiences of others, and also you can go out and experience the same things by practicing the things you read. Now, also, here are some things about becoming an avid reader. The first thing is that it sustains focus. Those who are avid readers usually have a higher percentage of sustained focus among them, simply because it takes focus to read a book. And also you're comprehending. I'm one who makes notes. All of my books in my library, that I read them, they were all marked up, they're underlined, they're highlighted, I have notes in them. And what that does is it causes you to remember more. I also love audiobooks. The only problem I have with audiobooks is most of the times I'm driving when I'm listening to them. I can't stop and make notes. But I do make a mental note, and as soon as I can, whenever I'm stopping or wherever I am, I'll stop, take a few minutes, and just jot down a couple of ideas that I got along the way. And then if that real audiobook is really good, and I don't have the hard copy, I'm sending for it. Simply because for me, every book is a workbook, and you can learn something for it. So, avid readers. I became an avid reader, and I have a set goal every year. And this year, and also understanding next year. So each year in January, I set a goal. And in 2022, I had set the goal, actually in the end of 2021, that for 2022, I would read 50 books. And some people don't read 50 books in a lifetime. But I know a lot of people, hang out with a lot of readers. Now, that doesn't sound like, I don't know if I could do that, I don't have a lot of time. It's amazingly simple. Now, I'm not a quick reader. I'm a slow reader. I like to enunciate. I read in a whisper. I like to hear my voice, because the auditory of hearing myself say another author's words helps me, and I retain it better. So I do that and get into a rhythm when I'm reading, when I'm taking notes, and so on. Now, having said that, I don't read very fast, but the way I'm able to read 50 books in a year, last year I think I read 20 or 30 books, but this year it was 50. And the way I did that is that a simple thing of reading 20 pages a day. That's all you have to do. 20 pages a day, and you will end up reading 24 or 25 books, depending on the size of your books, at the end of the year. It doesn't take that long to read 20 pages. So in order to read 50 books, I was reading 2 books a day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. That's all it was. And it's 20 pages in the morning, 20 pages at night. And that's it. That doesn't take a whole lot out of your calendar. In fact, it doesn't take anything out of your calendar. And doing that consistently, you could get to your goal at the end of the year. Now, here's how it adds up. This is why consistency is so important. That if you read 20 pages a day in each book that I read, 2 or 3 books a day, here's what happens. Completing 20 pages a day, you'll read approximately 7,300 pages in a year. So to read 2 books a day, like I'm doing, I'm reading 14,600 pages a year. What is that? That's approximately 48 books. And I did it by just reading a couple of pages in the morning, a couple of pages at night. You can do that. And when you're on purpose with it, it's educational. You will grow by leaps and bounds. How many people can say they read nearly 200 books in less than 36 months? Not a lot of people, but yet it's easy to do. We find time for a lot of things. Why not find time for self-improvement, personal development? So I want to encourage you that about 24 books containing 300 pages each, that'll give you what you need to do. It's amazing. You could tackle those books for 20 pages a day. That's it. It's the consistency of it. Consistency is the key to an avid reader, and consistency is the key to success. And highly successful people read more books. I'll talk to you next time.